Hello there, fellow summoners. Mad Dog HT here, going back into Variant 6 Contamination, Chapter 2.2, and this is the middle path. There's only 3 paths on this Chapter 2, which is kind of nice. They are longer, though, more fights, but this has the Overlord node, where if you nullify a buff, you get a passive crit, and then they can get Furies as well, which you can nullify. So I went in with this lane thinking that Mojo could do really well. I haven't used him a ton as an attacker, but he is very fun to play. And where I saw you can get those crit passives on nullify, I'm like, ooh, that would actually be pretty good for ramping up Mojo. You get a lot of nullifies on those L1s, build up his persistent charges throughout these fights. You should be able to do a lot of damage, especially when you start nullifying those passive crits. They definitely add up, and you can see that I'm gonna start to crit a ton. So I've done 3 L1s, nullified some of those armors, and then those Furies are gonna fall off. And do you get? I don't think that counted towards a nullification for the crit passives, but let's see. Nope, they just fall off, so it has to be through an L1. But you can see, like, I'm critting pretty big. I got my Fury up. I got 5 thumbs up, and this Colossus is melting pretty good, and then I'm getting some heal back after that chip damage. Mojo's pretty squishy. He takes a lot of block damage, but you can heal up a bunch of that through his mechanic. Every time you nullify a buff, you can regen some. It's a small amount, up to 3% of your missing health, I think it is. So when you're kind of topped off, it's small amounts, but basically you can compensate for some of the block damage. And we're gonna go in and we do most of these fights with Mojo. Venom gets a lot of buffs, and when his Clintar buff cycles through, that counts as a buff falling off to get a regen and some degen triggered. And so I'm gonna spam some L1s, and we're gonna get some prompts completed. We're gonna get those passive crits up. We're gonna keep Venom's buffs in check, and yeah, with those passive crits, we're gonna start to be critting quite a few. I can't remember how many I get built up, but you can definitely tell, like, a lot of those hits are critting. They're not huge crits. I don't have the 4 thumbs up yet, or the 5 thumbs up to get the Fury activated. There we go, we got it. But now we got 4 passives, and let's check that. 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. Those are some crits. 7,500, 7,500, 10,000 crits. And then all of a sudden, this Venom is just melted. So Mojo's pretty fun. Definitely he does well with Guardian on the team to help with his block damage that he takes. But not necessary, but does help. Just an option to throw on the team if you're doing some synergies around Mojo. Here we got Medusa. Medusa gets those Furies. We can nullify those. I wish there was another option besides the L1 that allowed Mojo to do nullification. Because you really do want to throw a lot of L2s and L3s. They basically do the similar thing with putting on some massive degens. I got lucky on that first set of Furies because I threw a special one and she auto blocked it and she didn't punish me. I was able to trigger the auto block on that one and then kind of back off. And then I got hit there. I'm like, ouch, that hurt. Plus I got the armor breaks on. And so I'm like, I'm just gonna melt this chick. look at that degen. It's pretty nice, stacking. And then I'm going to be getting some regen as those Furies fall off, as the thumbs down falls off. You know, again, the regen isn't like super crazy. You know, if you're trying to like heal back up, unless they have a lot of buffs, you won't be able to heal a ton, but you know, it's a decent amount. There, Medusa goes down, and now on this one, I didn't bring in Mojo. I guess I just wasn't feeling it with Black Panther Civil War. I mean, like, you have to do you know, to complete prompts. If you miss a prompt, then your audience and whatever goes down. And I didn't want to get like a stun prompt with him having an armor up, just because, you know, basically he has this armor up buff the whole fight, and I just didn't want to have to worry about working around the prompts with those armor ups with having to like stun or whatever. So so we're just going in with Doom. Doom is a decent option here because he has 3 nullifications on his L1. So you can see I already have 6 of those passives from passives built up. And I mean, look at Doom critting. Like, almost every hit is a crit. Now I got 10, which I think is the max. And crit. And Doom does not crit very frequently, normally. And pretty much every hit in this fight going out is a crit, which is really nice. And so I'm just trying to play around those armor ups. I mean, as long as you have like a Mystic Champ that can nullify, you can see some pretty sweet damage coming out of this whole lane. I mean, you can use, I mean, there's nothing like too crazy, or there's nothing crazy at all with the nodes for this lane. It just gives you the benefit if you bring in a Mystic Nullifier, which is kind of nice. I mean, look at that, like, just every hit is just crit, 6,000, 6,000, 1,000, 1,000, 2,000. I mean, it's just massive. And then we're going to finish them off there with a huge L2, bunch of those hits crit, and Black Panther Civil Warrior, or Civil War goes down pretty easily. And then do I go back in with Mojo on this one? I think I do. I think I was thinking Doom. Oh no, I use Void. And so the one thing that you need to be careful with on this fight, if you don't bring a poison immune and you start nullifying Scarlet Witch's buffs, and you start getting those passive crits built up, then you're going to be triggering all kinds of RNG randomness. And you know, with my luck, I'd probably be triggering a whole bunch of poisons on every hit, and then you'd be dead. So I guess that's the only like warning for this one is if you do bring a nullifier, make sure that they're poison immune. And I'm trying to think, poison immune nullifiers for Mystics. You have Mephisto, but I don't know if his L1 counts as a nullification. It may or may not. And see, like there's one poison, and that poison is taken for 433. Luckily I got 2 buffs, a weakness and the poison up to do some willpower heal, but they're 433 to 78, so you're losing about 350-ish a tick. And so I did get tagged by the end of the L1. I do have Killmonger on the team, so I am able to get some heal back per IP debuff that's placed on her, whether through my L1 or through the timer. But yeah, so Void works really well. He's not poison immune, but he can do this fight so long as you don't get terrible poison RNG. But yeah, I'm trying to think mystics that are poison immune that can nullify. I don't know that there are a ton. Mystics that are poison immune that can nullify. Oh, Black Widow Clairvoyant, she would actually be really, really good. Just get in the poison phase and then just rip her to shreds. Dormammu, he could work. Dragon Man, I don't know what kind of nullifications Dragon Man has. I haven't really played with him much. Other guys, I think that's about it. But anyways, now we're going into this War Machine fight. So he started off with 4 persistent charges, so we just need to complete 1 prompt to get that Fury. And Mojo is gonna be hitting pretty hard with that Fury. The degen's gonna be really potent. This guy is getting a lot of buffs that are cycling through, getting some heal off of, and yeah, I mean this War Machine just melts. I had that get him in the corner one. I canceled that prompt out with a heavy and got the Dex one, and then look at that, just melting away. We get him to his last phase, and each hit doesn't count as a nullification. It just knocks off his armors and whatnot, so you don't get the extras. But if you had somebody like Black Widow Clairvoyant, you'd get up to those 10 passive crit buffs pretty quick. And yeah, so Mojo pretty much cleared the whole line, except those 2 fights. I didn't take him on, the Black Panther Civil War and the Scarlet Witch. And then I believe I'm going to take him up against this Drax, and he does just fine, yeah. So this one's got the Overlord, Tyrant, he's aggressive, Optimist, and all that stuff. Basically, this is a pretty standard Drax fight where the Drax is 65k PI, so he's pretty jacked. Don't get hit by this dude, but that's pretty simple to do. And I think we started just around 50% health, and I think we get healed up quite a bit from all of the buffs getting nullified and the Furies falling off. And this guy is just melting really fast. I started off with 5 persistent charges, so I get those Furies when I complete the prompts right out the gate, and the degen damage is just very, 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 very nice. And yeah, Mojo's kind of fun to play. I like the fact that you kind of get these prompts in the fight that are unpredictable, and you get a bonus for paying attention and completing them. And you can do them, you can do the actions, or you can have the opponent do the actions, which is kind of nice. So yeah, it's kind of a game within the game. I like that part of Mojo. And he just hits fight, and I like that the degens are passive. So cornered isn't a problem for Mojo. You know, stuff like Redouble Determination isn't a problem for Mojo. Those degens are passive, and they do just massive chunks of damage when you get them ramped up, when you get that Fury active. And even without the Fury active, they still do pretty good damage. And look, we just finished the fight, and I got 67%, so I added almost 20% health throughout that fight, which isn't too bad. So pretty simple, straightforward path. Hope this helps, give you some insight to how you might go about it. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.